Nihil durare potest, tempore perpetuo. Nihil durare potest, tempore perpetuo. Wanes nituit, redditur Oceano, Decrescit Phoebe, quae modo fuit, Ventorum feritas, saepe levis, Ventorum feritas, saepe levis.
This song is a little different from the ones that I usually do because this is a Latin song from the city of Pompeii, obviously before the whole Pompeii disaster. This is graffiti found on the left side of a doorway, actually, and it has unfortunately since perished since its discovery in the early 1900s. The particular irony of this poem being inscribed in Pompeii walls has not been lost on many scholars, and many point to the almost prophetic prose that it puts forth in reference to the fate of the city of Pompeii. The translation has been reworked a few times, apparently. I'm not at all knowledgeable in Latin, but I can read what other people have written on the subject, and the final line is very interesting to me because there is a bit of a debate in translation between whether Venus should be translated purely as love, or as Venus, or simply as very fierce, strong winds. So I've seen this line translated in a number of ways. One of the most romantic is, quote, "Thus love's wounds shall heal and fresh breezes will blow once more," and this is translated by Garcia in 2005. Another translation was published by Cooley in 2004, Pompeii, a sourcebook, and the final line is translated as, quote, "Even so, the fierceness of Venus often becomes a puff of wind." Another translation I often see shared is, quote, "The violence of the winds often turns into a light breeze." Whatever the insinuation behind this line, whether they were referring to the torments of love, the intense and changeable nature of the goddess Venus in Rome, or if they're just referring to general winds, I think it's a very beautiful line, and the general sentiment stays the same, that although something may be very fiercely experienced or may be very difficult to get through, eventually one day the troubles will wane and fade into the background, kind of like a set of waves crashing onto the shore, in that these things come and go in their intensity. I decided to do this because I had come across this poem and I thought it was very beautiful, and I had also come up with this melody, but I felt that it wasn't very fitting to any Egyptian songs that I have reconstructed so far, and I will say it was a lot easier to compose this song because I didn't have to do any phonetic reconstruction, which is a great aspect of Latin, and I love that. I did try to do a little bit of research into how Latin was originally pronounced. This is supposedly Vulgar Latin, which would have been pronounced slightly differently from Old Latin, regular Latin, but I tried my best to get a more accurate pronunciation that would be different from the Italian and Greek pronunciations of these words that we see in the modern languages today. So I hope you enjoyed listening to this modern rendition of ancient poetry verse. Despite the fact that I don't have a Roman or Greek lyre, I figured that this lyre would work fine for it. And I think that it turned out quite well. So let me know what you think, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!